Yeah, so if anyone wants to go first and just introduce yourselves and share, yeah, those couple things.
Mm. I'll go first. My name is Bianca. I'm currently in Florida. I've been a digital nomad for about 3 years. I do Reiki and tarot and spiritual mentorship, as well as visibility for women who are starting their businesses. So, how they are able to show up online in a more confident way. But interestingly enough, I am also moving through some initiations of my own visibility and being able to be seen in my true authenticity. And so I feel like those initiations come from us stepping into deeper levels of awareness within ourselves. I'm excited to be on this call because health has been a journey that I don't want to say I've avoided for a while, but it's definitely been something that's been pushed down my throat by by other people. I also lost my dad 10 years ago, and he was a catalyst for spiritual awakening and being able to see health as a top priority. And that's how I got into the energy healing world. I also have had really painful periods through endometriosis, and I'm also rewiring my belief system when it comes to my moon and my cycle and how to honor my bleed in a way that feels good for the feminine. And so that's why I'm excited to hear about your wisdom in this realm and how to speak and move from an embodied space of like health for myself. So
Mm.
yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Happy to have you here. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. So my name is Clarice. Hi, everybody. I have been in branding for a few years, but I just got recently my personal story. I wasn't telling it, and I wasn't calling my clients, like holding them accountable to telling it. And just now I recorded a 30-minute audio. It's it's all based on me realizing that I had this one embarrassing moment that had me pretending for all of my life up until something happened last night, and I was like, oh, that's the connection, that's the thread. And so right now I'm lit up. I'm here at the Biltmore. It's a beautiful, like, look at this. I'm here for the gym.
Mm.
Yes. Yes,
I'm
girl.
here for the gym. I aligned it with this call so that I could really just,
Mm.
I'm glowing. So that's me.
We love that. Oh, gonna work out while listening to this, and that space looks beautiful. Thank you for being here. That's amazing. All right, who'd like to be next?
I can go next. Can you remind me what we're answering?
Oh, just like your name, what you do, and what brought you
Oh,
to this call, like why you want to elevate your health.
yeah. Okay, cool. Well, hi everyone. My name is Janae, and I nerd out on all things systems, automations, funnels, but I like to pair that with really like stepping into being the savvy founder in our businesses. And so I work on like identity stuff with my clients as well as nervous system regulation. So they don't feel crazy when their systems are working for them, like they are giving up control. So my background is I was an engineer before. And so this is like my like fun mix of like energetic somatics and stuff in terms of the coaching space. But I'm here because I have a newborn. Well, she's not as new, but she's not one yet. So she's still new. So I have a baby, and I'm always like, hey, I feel like I'm pretty energized. And I was telling you this, Pearl, but if there's something that can like make it even better, because what I've learned from entering into motherhood, but being a very like health conscious person, is that it's like there's additional like what's the right word? It's like there's additional like things to deal with, like pressures and emotions and things that are not my own always. And like it's like her. And so it's like I'm really good at regulating myself, but it's like how to kind of deal with things when I'm in like a co-regulating space with the baby is kind of like the area that I think would be kind of interesting to dive into. And yeah, just kind of like, hey, I know when I feel the fittest and I'm eating well, that I feel good. And so I'm kind of just here for whatever golden wisdom you have to share.
I love that. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm sure there's some nuggets you're gonna get value from. And then if you
Yeah.
all this ask things, you can ask, of course, and see how you
Yeah.
can, elevate your well-being. But I love that the added piece of now being able to regulate with a baby and being able to figure that out too. So that's cool. Yeah, I love that. All right, Alicia. Is it Alicia or Alicia?
Alicia.
Alicia.
Yeah. So I am French with my accent. So I live in Paris and I am a mindset and business coach. So I help women to really work through their story, to embrace it and to increase their ability to attract their dream clients. And I have two podcasts, one in English, one in French. And I come here because I decided to take care of my health this year. It's my year of expansion, it's my word of the year. And I really want to regulate my stress level because I know that I am starting to lose in weight right now, but I really want to regulate my stress level because I know that my cortisol level is so high, and also to manage my sleep because I am insomniac. So yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Welcome. I love your accent, by the way. I think is your name Gael in the chat? Like,
Yes, it's
uh,
Gael. I changed that because when I work in Canada in New York, people cannot pronounce my name. Gael is so difficult, so I changed for Alicia so that people is more easy than Gael, but my real name is Gael.
oh, your real name is it Gael? Gay. I can't say it. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's
That's
Gael.
totally fine. Gael. All right, beautiful. Well, I love that. And definitely some nuggets here. And then if you want to drop, we talked in the chat a little bit, so I'll answer that. But if there's anything else coming up for you, we can talk about that too. Amazing. Just to give you guys a little bit about my background. I'll keep it short, but I used to be a dietitian and worked in the hospital, been in the healthcare field for like 7 years now. Started with healthcare and worked with patients and in the more like sickness care really. And I didn't love it. And the systems here in Canada are they're good, but there's still lots of gaps, right? And I just found that I couldn't really serve my clients, my patients the way I wanted to. Lots of policies and restrictions about what you can do in the field, in the hospital. And I had a lot of knowledge from studying to be a dietitian, but I wasn't really able to use the knowledge to serve in the way I wanted to. And I just felt like really, honestly, unfulfilled and useless basically when I was working in a hospital. And so I started to create my own nutrition coaching, and then I started to work on that and build my business. And then through working with people and working with clients, I've noticed the big trend around not just what you're eating and like working out, which is of course important, but also your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, how you're living your life, if it's in alignment. You making sure you tend to your feminine side and like work on your emotions and being able to be in flow with how you're feeling and not so regimented, not so go in your masculine. And so really starting to really bring all these little things into my coaching. So I work a lot with nervous system work a lot with like the inner healing of like the fears and doubts and things that come up that stop you from showing up a certain way or doing a certain thing that you know is better for you, and just working on the mindset narratives. So it's all really holistic practice. And so, yeah, I'm just here to help support. I'm so excited. We have some really juicy questions, and a couple people that aren't able to make the call also have some questions. So I'll answer those at the end. But since we're here, all right, anyone want to go first? Do you guys care? Doesn't matter. All right. Okay. And Clears, I saw your chats. You said you're here, support managing stress, losing weight without the insane drastic changes. That is so good. Yeah, there's a big theme around stress, which we'll definitely talk about. So I'll just dive into, I have no order here. I think the first thing that I have right now in my chat is actually Bianca's question, and her share was really beautiful. And basically it's around, and obviously Bianca, you can clarify this and like add to it if you need to. Health and wellness for the feminine, knowing how to manage your stress, regulate yourself, and basically with your cycle too, like how to kind of tend to your body and what it needs in the feminine way. Is that what you kind of want to know about?
So I have endometriosis, which means that I have painful periods, and I've been working with like a holistic nutritionist to work with like progesterone levels and like understanding what that means. But I'd also love to know about like ways that I can treat my body during my moon, like learning about the cycle of that, if that's something that you have any wisdom on. And also, gosh, what else? Oh, I'm anemic as well. So it's like, so anything in the realm of assisting with that. Also, around this time, I always get like tension headaches and they stem from here and they move around. So yeah, does that give you a little bit more clarity?
Yeah, for sure. I would love to, before I answer, I'd love to hear about some of the things you've been working on with your nutritionist already and some of the shifts you've been making, just so I don't like repeat the same things you already know.
Yeah, so I was vegan for a couple years because when I first got into the holistic healing space, I thought that like eating meat, like we all go down different journeys. And,
Yeah.
and so that was my journey that I went on. So slowly introducing eating red meat into my diet again, and also like nourishing myself in a way that feels authentic and not forced. I've
Mhm.
been doing wild yam creams for progesterone levels. I've been incorporating um, like magnesium into my diet, things like that. So like we've just started working together. So it's I know it's going to be a journey and a process, but that's where we've started.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that's beautiful. And there's so many, I also do this often. I don't know why it just randomly shuts off on me. Yeah, there's a lot of good things you're starting to work with. So first piece is I used to have really painful periods too. And I actually just made a post about that yesterday. And so I'll just share the biggest things that really supported me with that was managing my stress levels and my cortisol, because your cortisol affects your progesterone. And when your progesterone's out of whack, that's when you get painful periods. So a really, really big piece you're gonna want to focus on is being able to reduce your cortisol as much as possible, regulating yourself and reducing your stress. So now it
Mhm.
comes to looking at what are your main stresses in your life and how
Mhm.
you can modify those in a way that serves you. And so a big piece of stress is your mindset around the thing and the actual thing, right? And so, for example, do you want to share like what one of the stressors are in your life if you're open to it?
You know what? Let's see. Let me think about what's true for me. Um, there's been a lot of shifts in my family dynamic, with like my things that I can't control that are outside of myself, like my mom's stresses I take on as my own. And I am like learning and so it's like it kind of is like a deep spiral into realizing that like I'm not my mom, I'm not my mother's mother, and that I don't have to like parent her and take on her challenges and responsibilities. Also with the loss of my dad, it was like a lot of the responsibility in the realm of like finances, in the realm of being like the strong one with the answers. Like that's the role that I stepped into and filled. I got my moon today, so forgive me if I cry. So stepping into that role has been a lot because it feels like a lot of the responsibility falls on me in a lot of ways. So I've been like in the process of also working with my trauma therapist and being able to reframe that and understand that it's not my responsibility to carry, but that's where a lot of my stress comes from. It's like what's going to happen next, like making sure that everyone in my family is like good and taken care of, and those things. And also while I want to prepare to enter motherhood as well, so whenever Janae said that she's like wanting to learn how to um incorporate those aspects, I don't want to pass on that stress to my child. Like I want to
Hmm.
I would love to be in a space that welcoming in a regulated nervous system, and having like that baby that comes through my portal be an extension of that. So does that answer your question? I know that was a little bit all over the place, but
Yeah, no, it definitely does. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think it's beautiful. Just express and show up exactly as you are because it's fully accepted here. But I could totally relate in so many ways. So a big piece of your work, which is what you're already doing, and I love that you have a trauma therapist and a nutritionist, which is amazing, is going to be around working on regulating your nervous system to know that the responsibility is not all yours and that you don't need to mother your mother. Because I also felt the same with my mom in our relationship. And so it comes down to a lot of inner child healing work and
yeah.
being able to create a safe place in yourself where it's like, okay, I need to put myself first. And even if I can't support my mom in XYZ way, it's okay. And really figuring out what the deeper need is. Like, is it like you're scared of not getting love? You're scared your mom's gonna reject you, like what that is, and being able to work through those emotions and those fears and those anxieties, because likely, your mom isn't gonna reject you if you say, hey mom, I just need to like, take a step back, right? But you can't let that affect your how you show up for yourself too. And it's so easy to with parents, and the family dynamics are very complex, right? And so it comes down to like creating a good narrative and a healthy mindset and safety in your body. So your nervous system and your inner child knows that it's okay if I do this, I'm going to be fine. And it's just creating those daily habits to support you. And so I would say And I know you already have a lot of things that you regulate yourself with, which is amazing. But I really would
But
really,
it's like a journey. It's like a
Mhm.
constant reminder to like bring myself back. Like I
Yeah.
know I practice meditation and breath work and
Mhm.
mindset, all the
Yeah.
things, and yet somehow I still get these tension headaches that come all the way from here and spiral this way. And I'm like, it's almost like I find myself sleeping. And then the moment that I wake up, it all starts. It's
Mhm.
almost like it comes into my field like the moment that like my brain turns on. And so then I'll even do like things like this to like help with that. But it's just like, I guess maybe some guidance would be like, what are some other ways to like prevent yourself from getting to the space of like the headache, if possible, to like, what are some ways to regulate myself or catch myself? Because also I'll find like myself not taking deep enough breaths.
Yeah, yeah. That's a common one for me. It used to be for me too. The biggest things that come to mind is that it's gonna need to be like somewhere, either you put a sticky note on your desk or like a reminder in your phone, like take a deep breath, or like it just needs to be a very on top
Yeah.
of mind conscious habit until it becomes unconscious. One thing I will also share is that when you're feeling these feelings, it's really important to let like make the whole feelings do their cycle. So emotions have a cycle, and I'm not sure what you usually do to release and express, but if that means you need to, like, I'm a big fan of somatic dancing, and that's what I support my clients with. I use dance and movement to help you release emotions. And so it's like whether it's you're dancing or you're tapping or you're doing a breath, or it's like, okay, I'm feeling this way. I have this headache. Like, I need to take a deep breath. I need to go shake off this feeling of stress. I need to change my mindset, like whatever you need in that moment. It's that, okay, when I feel this way, I'm going to go and do this. And it's making that a priority, whether that means, yeah, I use a lot of sticky notes. I use a lot of reminders on the phone because we're on our phones a lot. But just making it top of mind. And one thing I think is very powerful, if you don't already have a morning routine, do you have a morning routine?
I do.
Hmm.
But it's also about like I don't like to be like locked into something. So I
Yeah.
also like to kind of shift around like and move through it. But I am learning how to lean into something that feels not so trapped, I guess.
I know exactly what you mean. And I think the biggest thing, I used to feel really trapped with my morning routine too. It was like, I have to do this and this and this and this, and I got to make
The
sure.
cold plunge, the yoga, the journaling,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, and then it turns into 3 hours and you're like, what have I even done?
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that was me too. And so the biggest thing that shifted this for me was actually just being intentional about, I'm gonna take 5, 10, 20, whatever minutes, doesn't matter. I'm gonna take the time after I wake up just to check in with myself and see what I need. So like I still make sure I have space in the morning before I do any work or dive into my phone or anything. I just do a check-in. Some mornings it's 5 minutes. Some mornings I just need a breath. Some mornings it's 30 minutes. I need a journal. Some mornings like this morning, I'm fucking crying and bawling my eyes out because I'm also going through a lot of breakthroughs. And that's okay. It all gets to be okay. But I really think it's important to just do a check-in with yourself in the morning. Give yourself time and space, whether it's 20, 30 minutes, and be like, okay, what do I need this morning? And sometimes you're like, actually, I feel okay. I'm just gonna do a quick 5 minute breath or a quick meditation. Or some mornings you're like, you know what? I need to tend more to my soul right now because I'm going through this shift. And that's been really beautiful for me to know that every morning I non-negotiably check in with myself, but it looks different. How's that land for you?
That lands well. I am remembering, reminding myself that I am in divine timing and that I have time, because that's one of that's one of the limiting beliefs and programmings that has been like running my show, is that I don't have enough time to dance it
Mhm.
out, to meditate it out, to move it out, that I have to do the X, Y, and Z before I can give myself that space to do it. So I'm reminding
Mhm.
myself that actually prioritizing that and putting a sticky note or an alarm. I didn't even think about putting an alarm on my phone to take a deep breath. That feels like something that I'm going to start doing.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
yeah.
changed my life. I have like multiple alarms. Actually, I do an alarm every hour and it'll
Mhm.
pop up and it'll say, you go first, or it'll say, take a breath. It'll say, dance it out. And I get these reminders. I'm like, oh, okay. And I think one thing we forget, I used to have that. I don't have enough time. I now tell myself, you have more than enough time, Pearl. Like you
Yeah.
have more than enough time because we do. We have so much time. And it's like, you have more than enough time. And this thing doesn't have to take a lot of time. Like dancing it out literally takes 3 minutes. Go play a song. Take 3 minutes out of your day. I'm like, oh, I can do that.
When we started the call and you were like, let's get up and dance, I was like, I just started my cycle. I do not feel like dancing. And truth be told, that was enough to like help me move some of the pain through my body. And I
Yeah.
was like, I actually feel a lot better now. I'm like, so thank you for that invitation to like reprogram like the movement, even whenever it's like times of the month where it feels like a little bit less active, that I can still make
Mhm.
prioritize that. That does help a lot.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. I love that. Okay, so that was a lot, but I think that's what I would love for you to
Yeah.
focus on. Get those reminders in the phone and just make those moments like whether it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, check in with yourself every morning, and it all gets to be enough. In terms of iron, I'm gonna send you some stuff after because I want to get to everyone else too.
Yeah.
Send you some like iron-rich foods, which you probably know, but also just like pairing your iron-rich foods with vitamin C. I'm not sure if your nutritionist told you about that yet, to increase absorption. I'm really into like maximizing absorption of everything we eat. It's been like a focus since I worked like with people that were sick and had absorption issues. So a big piece is like helping you yet eat iron, but also how do we up your absorption. So I'm going to send you a list of that. If anyone else wants it too, let me know. And then in terms of, I think you asked about it was iron and then your painful periods. Is that anything else you
Yeah, no,
want?
that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you so much,
Amazing.
girl.
You're so welcome. That was such a good question. I hope everyone else got value from that too. Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Next, Gael, we talked in the chat, and I think I have your chats here. I think you wanted to know about having more energy
Yes.
and how you can check in with your body every day. Was there one other thing?
Yes, it's because I feel like it's because of my stress level. So I have a cortisol imbalance. So I am losing weight right now. And I know that I have a cortisol level because I did a PhD in immunology. So I know all the stuff. So I try to incorporate more daily. So I stop to do it and everything. I do more workout and walking on the morning. And I have a morning routine, but I don't have a night routine. So I think it's for that I have insomnia, and I start to increase my magnesium and I also add some tyrosine for to help me regulate my mood and everything because I have some panic attacks sometimes. So yes, is that I want to because I know that each time that I eat, I have a decrease of energy, but I know it's normal because I'm regulating my cortisol. So it's a time that everything go in place, but I just want to know how I can increase my energy during the day.
Mm.
Because I used to emotional eat because when I was stressed, I was eating. So I stopped that. I really start to really go through my emotion and really go into what is happening behind eating my emotion. So I stopped that. It's just, I feel like just to regulate everything take time. So I know I like to be it's the same as Bianca about the time. I feel like I need to lose weight right now, but I know that I gain weight for a long period of time. So I will not lose weight in one day. I know it takes time, but I feel like sometimes you are so nervous about how you look and everything. So yeah.
There's so much there. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay. Okay. Remind your top priority right now is how to get more energy during the day, correct?
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of things like, oh, I get to, okay,
That's
I'll
all.
focus on that. There's a lot of things are related to our energy levels. And so I'm going to go over some of the basic things to focus on. And of course, you're probably doing some of these things, but just to go over like a general for everyone here, I have like a framework that I talk about with my clients when it comes to optimizing your physical energy, and it's M&Ms. And so the first M is your morning routine. The second N is your nutrition. The third M is movement. You got S, and there's two S's. So it's stress and sleep. Okay. And so morning routine, we talked about that already. Don't really want to dive into that. Just check in with yourself. Do something in the morning to make you feel good. I really believe in the power of intention setting in the mornings and just
No,
take some deep breaths. That can be enough, or you can do more if you feel called to, whatever makes you feel good. Okay. The second piece is nutrition. I want to focus here on eating balanced meals. And people are like, yeah, I'm eating healthy, which is, yeah, okay, cool. But it's what is actually on your plate. And if you want to go into this, we can, but just eating more vegetables, eating more fruits, having some whole grains and enough protein on your plate. The two things that women don't do enough, in my opinion, from my work with them is eat enough protein and eat enough veggies. Okay, so making sure you have enough protein and vegetables with every meal. This not only helps you regulate your nervous system through having balanced blood sugars, it also helps you balance out your hormones. Because when your insulin levels are up and down, it actually affects your hormones. It also affects your cortisol levels. Okay, people that have anxiety need to really focus on eating balanced meals, because when your cortisol drops, when your insulin drops and your cortisol goes up, that makes you more anxious. And a lot of people don't notice the correlation between eating and anxiety. All right. And there is one for sure, because I also struggled with anxiety in the past. And from my learning and from working with other people too, that's really important. So eating your balanced meals. And if you need to eat a snack in between, that's okay. It depends on how big your gaps of your meals are. Okay. This is going to be something that you're going to learn over time, but it's learning how to listen to your body and knowing that is going to change. I don't believe you need to eat at 10 a.m. every single day, but it's more like eat when you're hungry and know kind of the areas and when, okay, if you're not hungry, if you're still not tuned into your body's cues, which is fine. Oh, it's been 6 hours. Oh, maybe I should eat. Like, so much time we can get caught up in, oh, the work and in the hustle and, oh, I gotta do this and this, which is very common. And so it's recommended to eat every 4 hours. Now, I would just say recommended to do a check-in every 4 hours. And again, the alarm does wonders. Check in every 4 hours, like, okay, have I ate today? Or have I ate in the last 4 hours? Am I hungry? Do I need water? Do I need to move my body? Right? So every 4 hours, do a little check-in. And that can be very, very powerful. So eating those regular balanced meals and making sure you're checking in on the frequency of your timing of eating. The third piece of energy is going to be movement. Take some time every day to move your body. Now, I don't mean go to the gym every single day. I just mean move your body. And it gets to look different. All right. It's going to the gym one day. It's maybe I want to do Pilates today. Maybe I want to go for a walk today. Maybe I just want to stretch and dance it out today. Maybe I just want to chill. But I do think movement in general, like even just a walk every day, is really powerful and has been shown to really reduce insulin levels and improve your blood glucose and help you lose weight in the long term. So even just walking every day is a win, but getting resistance training is also really important, at least 3 times a week, to build muscle, because muscle helps you increase your metabolism and you burn more calories over the long term when you have more muscle in your body. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, and then the last two pieces are stress and sleep. You did say you have insomnia, okay? And when it comes to insomnia and not being able to sleep at night, this actually comes down to your nervous system regulation and how you've been conditioned to view sleep and how your body's used to sleeping. This is going to take time. One thing I want you to do is before you go to bed is to do something at night. Whether it's this, and again, kind of like the morning routine, evening routine gets to be a thing, but doesn't have to be this really hard structured thing. The most important thing you want to focus on is down regulating yourself. So getting yourself in a calm state of mind and calm in your body before you go to bed. I actually have a really good training on sleep. I'm going to send you, I'm going to make a note. I have a sleep training that explains like how to bring your brain waves down to where you can sleep better and sleep faster. Can I ask you what keeps you up? Like what is when you're have insomnia, when you can't sleep, is it your mind racing or like what is keeping you up?
No, it's like when I see silence, I feel a panic. Yes, I feel stress. So I think in my mind, thinking of every possibility that something is going wrong because I overthink. And when I don't see silence, and when I have, so I sleep with some meditation or something like that because I don't like to sleep with nothing. So because my brain go, well.
Okay. Okay, thank you for sharing that. So what you just shared there, my intuition is telling me that there's some deeper things to unpack here for you, as to why the silence causes you anxiety and makes you feel like something bad's gonna happen. It sounds like it's a subconscious narrative, maybe from the past in your childhood. I don't have that space to dive into it right now on this call, but I do encourage you to, whether it's lean in for support or, message me later or get a therapist or something, but there's some deeper stuff that needs to be unpacked because your body doesn't feel safe sleeping at night for some reason, and you need to create that safety within yourself. And so that's going to take inner child healing, shifting your mindset. For now, I would say having some sort of routine that'll help you wind down will support you. And then if you need to listen to stuff at night for now while you're still working on this, for sure, put music on or put a meditation on, have some beats in the background, whatever makes you able to sleep. But that's just a temporary solution. The real root cause of why you can't sleep is because you don't feel safe sleeping. And that's something I would encourage you to unpack.
Thank you so much. It
Did
helped
that
me a lot.
help?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. So focus on those things. I'm also going to send you a little like a checklist I send my clients about like the five main areas to focus on. The last piece is stress. And stress comes down to, again, like we talked about, Bianca, like what's the main stressor in your life and addressing that. Okay, so
Okay.
there's the mindset piece of it. Like this stresses me out. I need to learn how to not let it stress me out and how to change my mindset around it and be more at calm and at ease about the situation. And how can I change this stressor in my life? Whether it's setting boundaries, whether it's removing it from your life. I'm not exactly sure what the stressors are, but it would be like, okay, let's look at the stressor and see what I can do. And also comes down to creating that state of, okay, I can do this. I'm able to take a step back and not feel like I always have to pressure, like whatever that feeling that comes up for you around that stressor. That would be, again, nervous system regulation, taking deep breaths. If you don't already have like daily practices that ground you, I'd recommend you have some. Do you have anything that you do daily to ground yourself, to bring yourself back to your body?
Uh, I think I walk and I write. I write
Okay.
a lot. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And do you find that helps you feel more calm and like bring yourself back to your body when you do those things?
yes,
Perfect.
when I write is I am in my place, in my creative place. Nobody's here and I feel safe.
That's beautiful. I love that. Okay, beautiful. And one thing I will add is the easiest way to bring yourself back to your body and ground yourself is just through deep breaths because we don't
Okay.
always have accessibility. I mean, maybe you do, but maybe like writing in the moment or going for a walk might not always be available to you. So in the meantime, one thing that I suggest everyone do is just come back to the body and take deep breaths and just connect and take deep belly breaths, even just for a minute, just to check in. That can really help you calm down and check in with your body and feel less stressed.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Is there anything else you want to dive into? Any other questions you have?
No, I think you talk already about the stress and the anemia, so this one is very good. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Great. Love that. All right. And I don't think I have any other questions because Clarice snore. Yeah. So if you guys want to mute yourselves and share, Clarice or Janae, if you have questions or
I don't know specifically what my question is, but I've already gotten so much value just from hearing what you told Bianca and Alicia. So I think for me, the biggest thing that I'm kind of torn between two things. So it's either like maybe more effective ways to like co-regulate. I wouldn't say like, I mean, it works, but I just wish it would work quicker, if that makes sense. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like I get to the like point where it's like, okay, we're good, but it's like, it feels like it takes a lot of like active intention and focus to get there, like in the moment. Like, so right now, my little one's like in the middle of teething and like we have sleep regressions. We're just like we're in a zone right now. So it's just like during the day, I think I was so used to like regulating my own nervous system and like finding my own like center. And now it's more so about like helping her regulate herself, but then also making sure that I stay regulated. And I feel like I get there eventually, but it just feels like it takes a while. So that's one thing. And then, or maybe it's like tied to, I'm trying to think. Maybe it's tied to the eating thing, because like what you were telling Alicia about like making sure you eat and like frequently enough. I feel like sometimes maybe I allow myself to get like just like in the groove of like baby, all these things. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like went from like I was not hungry, not interested in food until like I'm starving and like where's the food at? Um, so maybe I answered my own question, but I don't know if you have like something that's pinging off for you based on what I'm saying.
Oh, I love when that happens when you answer your own question. I will touch on that. I just want to note, I would like clarity on when you say you want it to happen faster. You want what? You want you to feel regulated faster? You want your baby to feel
Yeah,
regulated
like
faster?
yeah, because I don't know that I can like control how she regulates herself, but like my belief is that like the if I'm regulated, then it's like it creates a space for her to like co-regulate based off of me being regulated. But
Mhm.
like for me, I think I've always been a person that can easily get like overstimulated. So it's like lots of noise or lots of things going on. Like I've always been very like the way that I normally reset is like outside in nature with quiet. And so because that's not really an option in this case, I find that it's more challenging because I'm trying to like compensate, like be regulated, but also compensate for not being able to use like the methods that I normally would use, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Two things come up for me here. Do you have a backyard?
No backyard, but we have like mountains right outside, so that
Okay.
counts.
Do you have like a patch of grass close by to your place or anything?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. There's two ways my brain goes when I talk about this.
Okay.
You're used to regulating a certain way, which is being in mountains, being in nature, being outside, which I
Hmm.
love.
Hmm.
But also that's holding you back from regulating yourself whenever you choose to. And
Right.
so yes, when you can, go to that patch of grass or go outside in nature and regulate yourself, but also finding ways you can regulate yourself in the now and allowing yourself to be regulated when you choose. And I think there's power in both, and I want you to access both. But I always tell my clients, like, you get to regulate yourself right now by taking a deep breath. You get to regulate yourself by getting off your phone and just pausing for a moment, right? And it doesn't have to take a long time, but I think we let it take longer than it needs to be. Because scientifically, if you take a few deep breaths for 90 seconds, you will be regulated. All right. And so it's like when you give yourself the permission to let me calm down for a sec, let me take some deep breaths, let me check in what I need. Maybe you do need to eat more frequently and you kind of answer that yourself. Maybe you need to drink some water. Maybe you've been sitting down for too long. You need to go move your body and like have a little shake it off and dance or whatever. Like, what do you need to regulate yourself? And it can happen within a couple minutes. And when you do feel like that, and then you can go like co-regulate with your child. But I don't think it needs to take longer than it needs to. And then, yeah, you can do both. How's that land?
No, that lands. And I think a lot of times, like my default to what I do is the breathing, but I think it's that I haven't done that first, if that. So I think like really doing that first instead of like trying to do other ways would probably be the best because yeah, I think that's the most accessible method that's like always with me.
Yeah, seriously. Like the breath is something I encourage every single human to use all
Yeah.
the time. And so, yes, it's like the breath first, and then also our mindset around it makes a huge difference. When
Hmm.
you already plant the seeds, you're like, okay, I'm gonna take these deep breaths to down regulate and calm myself down. It's gonna work because your brain like literally listens to exactly what you say. It's
Hmm.
gonna work. And so just being intentional about, okay, I'm gonna breathe for the next minute. I'm gonna feel calm, then I'm gonna go show up for my baby. Yeah. And that I think
Yeah.
doing that first will really help. And then yes, eat more frequently.
Yeah. I think when you said that, I was just like, yeah, that I need to like set an alarm because
Yeah.
it just like switches and you're like, where's the food? It's like, oh, I didn't even know I was like getting because it's just so busy. But yeah, that was great. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing. Yes. Bianca, alarm for snacks. Yes. I love that. So good. And Clarice had a good point about her breaths. She's 3-4 breaths over 1 minute cycle. Yeah, there's different types of breath I encourage you to play with.
Mhm.
There's, yeah, lots of different ways to breathe. There's box breathing. There's 4 in, 4 out. There's 4 hold, 4 hold. Like, and I just encourage you, but honestly, just breathing in general is beneficial. But deep breaths into the belly, not the chest, because that activates different parts of the nervous system. So deep breaths to the belly, ideally expand your belly, and exhale, really release and relax. Those are really supportive. Amazing. That was great. Okay, Clarice.
Okay. Um, I just found a dance studio at this gym. So I was wondering, could you like, could my question be like a full body, like 5 minute routine that would specifically that would specifically help me heal like C-section and core and all of the muscles? Because like I have that, the slice right below the belly, so it's really gotten my hip flexors weak, so on and so forth. And I just recently found an account where like this girl, she's like in lunge for most of the dance. It's like soft acrobatics, she called it. and it just looks like lyrical and it looks amazing. I don't know. I mean, I'm not at the level where it would be safe to get on my hands because I'm like the weakest I've ever been and the largest I've ever been. So I just want to something that will help me build up strength specifically in my core and also set me up to do things like handstands, maybe in a year, not handstands, but like weight transfers
Mm,
over
I
a
love
longer
that.
period.
That's so good. Yeah, I actually have the perfect core exercise. I'm a personal trainer as well. I actually have a lot of certifications.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we're gonna do it all together. Let's do it all together. Let's do some core. And this is, well, I want to explain before we get on the ground. I'm gonna explain. So a lot of people think in order to get your core activated and do your core, you gotta do a bunch of crunches or abs or whatever. And I actually like I don't really do abs or crunches or like a bunch of stuff. But what I've learned is how to activate because we have four muscles in our core. Most people only activate one or two of them. But what I'm going to share with you is going to help you activate all four of your core muscles. And it's going to really teach you, and this is going to take practice. This is actually something I tell my clients to do every morning to activate your core muscles and create like more stability in like your breathing and just like your posture and stuff like that. But no, it's going to take time. It's also is a different type of breathing method as well. So what I'm going to share is a couple different pieces, but it's really about learning how to breathe and expand into your core and create tension to build your core strength. Because muscles grow under a couple of circumstances, and that's under tension, under weight, right? And we can create tension without weight, actually, which is really cool, but there's a different way to do it. So we're going to talk about just a concept that you guys need to understand before we go into the floor and do this. Also, great. I love that we're getting active. Thanks, Carice. So imagine our core is like a water bottle. Yeah, imagine it's like a water bottle. And obviously water bottles have caps, right? So when your water bottle is full and when there's water or air in it and you haven't opened it yet, when you squeeze it, what happens? Someone want to answer? What happens when you squeeze it when it's full, you haven't opened it yet?
It provides it's stable, like it doesn't pop, it doesn't bend, it provides resistance back.
Exactly. Exactly. It's stable. It's nice and like you squeeze it and nothing's going to happen, right? So imagine that's our spine. Okay. That's our spine. So what happens when you take off the cap of the water bottle and you squeeze it? What happens? Yeah, right? Water comes out. And so a big thing that happens in the fitness industry, and this is why a lot of people have back issues when they're older, if they lift really heavy and not engage their core properly, because when we're doing heavy exercises, it makes our spine not sturdy. And if our core is not engaged, right, we don't have that support. So it's really important to understand how to engage your core, not just when you're lifting heavy, but just when you're doing a lot of things, because your spine and your posture really impacts everything. And when you can have proper core engagement, even when you're sitting down, when you're walking, not only it makes you like stand up taller and look like you think you're like the hottest shit because you're like, oh, you're walking around like this, yeah, you know, but it also is really supportive for your spine and your posture and reduces lower back pain, helps support your pelvic floor, all the things. And so if anything you take from this is like, how can we keep the lid of our core engaged, keeping that pressure really supported there to support your spine and your muscles in the back and so many other things too. Okay, does that make sense? Any questions there? Okay, so we're gonna get on the floor and I'm gonna walk you through a really pretty simple exercise, but there's a couple little nuances that I need to explain. So we're all gonna get on the floor. Let me see. Maybe, okay, yeah, yep. Okay, oh yeah, oh yeah, okay. Hi. Can everyone see me? Okay. Amazing. And when I say this is all you need to do every single day for like 5 minutes, and if you also do take your movement seriously and dial in your diet, like you're gonna get abs in a few months or a year or whatever, but it's really solid for your core strength. Okay, so we're gonna land our backs. Land our backs. Yeah. Oh, we love this. Okay. What I want you to do is you see this gap between your back and the floor. I want you to seal that gap. So I want you to tuck your pelvic floor so your lower back is completely flat on the ground. Everyone can hear me, right? Yeah. Thumbs up. I can't see anyone. Okay, great. All right. So your back is really nice and flat on the ground. All right. And you should feel your lower pelvic floor activate, okay? You should feel it activate. Give me a nod if you feel it activate when you tuck your back nice and flat. Good, okay, nice. I see your thumbs, nice work. Okay, next, I want you to put your fingers on your rib cage, okay? On your rib cage, just under your boobs, yeah? Where your ribs meet. I want you to push down on your ribs and feel your upper abs activate. Let me know when you have that. So imagine your ribs are going down and your upper abs, nice. Okay, good, nice, good, okay. So now we have two parts of our core activated, okay? Now the other two parts of our core are the sides of our core. Now, naturally, what should happen when you activate your lower pelvic floor and your upper ribs, upper abs, you should feel the sides. I want you to put your hands on your waist and feel if you have your sides, your core activated. Does it feel activated? You should feel like tightness of the muscles or like some tension there.
Okay, so it's funny. I'm squishy, so I'm not sure, but I think
Right,
so.
right, okay. But you'll feel like, I want you to relax, like completely relax and then touch your sides, okay? And then go back to pelvic floor and ribs in and touch your sides. Do you see a difference? Do you feel a difference? A little bit. You'll get it. Again, this takes time. The sides are a little more, takes more practice to activate them, okay? So now, before we get into this, I want you to relax your belly. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna take deep belly breaths. So put one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. And this breathing pattern is not just for this, it's an always thing. We always want to be breathing into our belly unless we are exercising, okay? Belly breathing is our most regulated state. And a lot of people aren't regulated and feel anxious and overthink and all the things because we're breathing into our chest a lot of the time. That's just because it's how a lot of us are conditioned to breathe. So I actually had to retrain how I breathe because we had to breathe, learning to breathe in the belly was an adjustment for me, okay? So hand on the belly, I want you to focus on inhaling through your nose and expanding your belly. So inhale, and the hand on your belly should lift. If you notice the hand on your chest lifting, I need you to focus more on breathing into the belly. And again, this will take time, but once you get the belly breath, put your thumbs up. Good, okay. Nice, okay, good, beautiful. Good, yes. So focus on bringing on the belly. Okay, now here's the trick. For this exercise specifically, when we exhale, we're going to create tension in the belly. One way to think about this is when you exhale, instead of having an open mouth, I want you to actually put your teeth kind of together and you're going to make a sound, okay? You don't have to make the sound, but it just really helps with the way we're going to activate our core. So we're going to inhale and we're going to make a sound when we exhale. When you do the soot, you're gonna feel your core is gonna activate. And we're gonna breathe like that a few times. And then we're gonna get into the exercise. I haven't even started yet, but you should feel your core activate, especially when you exhale and do the s sound, okay? So your back is flat, lower pelvic floor is engaged, ribs are down, all right? Inhale into the belly, and it's not gonna expand as much here, but that's okay. So inhale into your belly. Keep that back flat, and then you're gonna exhale, and you should feel your core, and you might even shake here. Okay, and we're gonna practice it multiple times. So we're gonna inhale, exhale. Do that a few times, and when you start shaking, put a thumbs up. Beautiful, nice. Nice. Waiting for a couple more thumbs. Janae, Alicia, how are we doing? Kind of, okay, kind of. It takes practice, okay? One thing that will help you with this is to remember the analogy of the water bottle. Okay, so what we're doing when we bring our ribs in, the ribs are the cap, okay? So you want to keep your ribs really locked in and feel the core activate. When you exhale, you're not releasing the pressure. You're releasing the air, but not the pressure, and they're two different things. And this is obviously easier in person, but since we're virtual, the pressure, so the air we breathe, we inhale, and we have air in our belly, okay? So but there's a pressure there too, because now there's air and pressure in our core. Okay. So what you need to do is when you feel the tension of the core, you want to keep the tension, but get the air out when you exhale. So it's gonna be a tss, but you're not leaving you're still activated and engaged with the muscles, if that makes sense. Now I want you to feel a difference. Yeah, okay, Alicia got it. So feeling a difference of just exhaling normally and like letting your belly go flat versus keeping the tension and muscles engaged as you exhale. So just practice that. And keep the muscles engaged. And you should shake here because every time you engage that core, your muscles shake, your core is building strength. And that's a good thing. Let me know once you got it. And if you have we'll take a pause. Anyone have questions?
I love how you're just chilling, looking like a full-on muse right there, just like laid out like the Buddha or something like, hey babes. This reminds me of like doing like TRE, like the trauma release exercises. So whenever you said like the shakes and stuff like that, it also helps me to get to a space of like, and I'm like, why don't I get on the ground and breathe like this? Like what has stopped me from doing this? So thank you. No question, just an acknowledgement.
You're so welcome. Yeah, doing this, I do this every morning, even just for, again, for a couple minutes, not have to be long, just to activate the core, but also just, yeah, I didn't know about the TRE, but the shakes are actually a really good thing, especially when you're doing core work, especially for women with our pelvic floor. We release a lot of things through there, and it's all like opening up our hips and stuff like that is also something I encourage women to do. But okay, any questions about that? We're gonna go into the actual exercise, and then, oh my gosh, we're at 11. I still have a couple questions to answer, but if you guys need to hop off, I totally understand. Janae, Alicia, how we doing? Questions? Clarice?
I
Good?
had an observation.
Yeah.
I had to, so my process for every breath when I noticed, oh, it's not tight, I'm not shaking. It was just checking in with my lower back. The moment I flattened my back as like a mental note, I think I did 10 of the breaths.
Nice.
On like 6 of them, I had to reset my back.
Yeah, and that will happen. It's gonna take time. A lot of times, like the clients I work with need to either reset their ribs or their back. Because oftentimes, and I don't know about y'all, but I used to be very into like, looking really cute at the gym and like making my butt stick out. And so I really used to do like really arc my back a lot. I was like, oh, gotta make my butt, And doing that so much really trained my back to always arc. So I started doing this. I was like, oh, tuck, oh, flat back, flat back, flat back. It's like tuck. So it's just gonna take time to get used to. It's okay if you have to hop off. All good. I appreciate you being here. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the actual, yeah, whole life was an arc. Oh, yes. You're so welcome, Bianca. Okay, you are a dancer too. I'm a dancer as well. Okay, so last piece of this. So I suggest if you're new to this, just focus on getting your breath, like with your feet down, get your breath really dialed in. Okay, so after you do at least 10 breaths, you should feel your core activated. You should feel almost like, oh my God, I'm sore. Okay. Once you get there, don't stop. Okay. We're just getting started. So once we get there, we're gonna put both feet in the air. Okay. Both feet go in the air. Yeah. So slight bend in the knee is totally fine. I want to slightly rotate your feet in. So your feet are going to be inward. This opens up your hips. Beautiful. This is also really good hip flexor, like opening exercise too, but we're mostly here for the core purposes. So from here, core is engaged, ribs are down, same idea. What we're doing is box breathing with lowering and lifting our legs. I want everyone to actually watch me first before we do this, so this makes a little more sense, okay? So I'm here. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to inhale into my belly. I'm only moving my legs on the exhale, okay? So I'm inhaling into the belly. I exhale. Bring one leg down. Then I pause at the bottom. Inhale into the belly. Exhale. Bring leg up. Same thing other side. I inhale. Exhale, move my leg. I pause. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, bring my leg up. Oh, baby. Okay, and you're gonna feel that. So that's the actual exercise, and that's like the level one of the exercise. There's the other levels, but I want us to start there. So let's all do it together. And then, yeah, bye, Bianca. Thank you. Mwah. Okay, so we're gonna lie here. All right. So here, legs are up, core is engaged, ribs are down. All right. Once you're here, inhale into the belly. Exhale, lower leg slowly. Keep your lower back flat. And only bring your leg as low as you need to, okay? Keep the back flat. Once you're at the lowest point you can go, inhale into the belly. Exhale, bring that leg up. Bring the leg up, should be harder. You should feel more of a shake. Beautiful. Once you're here, same thing other side. Inhale. Exhale, other leg, bring it down. Nice and slow and controlled, okay? Beautiful. Pause here. Inhale into the belly. Bring that leg up, nice and slow. You should feel that shake. Ooh, okay. Who felt that? Did we all feel that? Yep, good. Yes, amazing. And I want you to do that for like 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes every morning, okay? Now, of course, shorter is okay, whatever you can do, but that is really gonna strengthen your core like immensely because we're activating all of our cores and also adding the breath. How's that? Does that make sense? Yeah, Clarice. So yeah, that's honestly such a powerful exercise. I give that to all my clients too. All right, so, oh, this is amazing. Who's getting value so far? Who's loving this so far? I love that we got to exercise. Oh, so good. So good. Amazing. Okay. There's 2 other questions I'm going to answer quickly for those that weren't able to make it live. If you guys want to stay on, amazing. If you want to hop off, all good. One is about sugar addiction. Someone's like, I have a sugar addiction. Please help me. SOS. I'm like, okay, let's talk about that. And then the other one was around movement. Wait, let me check. She sent it to me. Was around, oh, I even have it. Yeah, it was around, oh, when you fall out of a habit and when she's finding it hard to do things a little bit at a time. She has an all or nothing mindset. So we're going to talk about, Hannah asked about having a sugar addiction. Okay, when it comes to sugar addiction, I have a very different perspective on these than most nutritionists do. I don't believe it's addiction to sugar. I believe it's addiction to what that thing does for you, okay? So let's say it's, I mean, there's two parts to this. There's, yes, you could be addicted to sugar because you eat it so much and because your body, your bacteria is used to getting it a lot, it's going to crave it. Yes. And I think the bigger influence is our brain, is the dopamine, and is how we react, because sugar is a drug for our brain, right? So it's about understanding. And Hannah, again, this might not all land, but the biggest piece that my clients experience with sugar is that they usually eat it or they crave it when they're feeling either emotional or bored or stressed or whatever, right? They feel like they need the sugar to make them feel better. Like they had a stressful day and they need to eat like chocolate or candy or chips or whatever your form of sugar is. But it's not because like your body needs the sugar. It's like your brain needs the sugar to help you feel like you've alleviated, like to release the stress, to let go, right? And so what I suggest usually is slowly wean yourself off and eating healthier replacements. All right, so that's gonna look like fruits, nuts, and maybe like trail mix, like still having little bits in there, but having it combined with healthier options is going to be really supportive. So eating grapes, eating blueberries, frozen blueberries are a great snack actually. Fruits and vegetables, and eating like a little bit of chocolate with your trail mix or whatever it looks like for you. But the biggest piece actually is to look at, okay, when do I crave sugar the most? Look at your patterns. When do I feel like I need to eat this thing? Is it when I'm stressed? Is it when I had a bad day in my business? Is it when I'm emotional and I'm on my period? Look at these patterns and look at, okay, well, what can I do instead of eating sugar when I'm stressed? Let me regulate myself. Let me release my stress. Let me exercise. Let me move and start finding healthier replacements in that way. Second piece about the sugar addiction is going to be improving your gut health. So when your gut is out of balance, you're going to crave more sugar, and your bacteria are going to want more sugar. But when your gut is in good balance, when the bacteria are in a healthy way, you're actually going to crave eating healthy, because your healthy gut bacteria, they want to eat healthy. So it's going to be really looking at how can you improve your diet. And we talked about this earlier in the call. If you want to go back, improving your diet, eating more vegetables, eating more whole grains and balanced meals and more protein. Another thing, if you didn't know, you often crave sugar a lot when you're protein deficient. So maybe you need to eat more protein, Hannah. I don't know. So if that landed, let me know if you have any other questions. And yeah, that's what I was saying when it comes to the sugar piece. All right. And then Callie, in terms of how you lead yourself through, so when you're out of a habit, how do you get yourself back into it or lead yourself through it? So with her example, her gym closed down, and now she's like, now what do I do? Oh my God, I don't have a gym to go to. And I can totally relate, because during COVID, when the gyms closed down, I was like, holy crap. It's okay. Yes. Amazing, Janae. Thanks so much for being here. I will be uploading it as well. Thank you for your support. Okay. So it's how can I? So one thing, the question that changed my life that I ask myself every day, hotel gym hopping, Chris, I love it. This question is, how can I? Okay. Versus, oh, I can't work out anymore because I don't have a gym to go to. It's no, how can I still work out? And this question will get your brain to think of all the ways you can work out. And so I'm going to encourage you, Callie, to work out at home. There's no reason why you can't get up and move your body at home. I know you have a kid. I know there's business things, whatever. Again, it doesn't have to be a long time. You get up, move your body, you go for a walk, you do some body weight workouts, you do a YouTube video, you just get your body moving. You work out with your baby, you hold your baby and work out with her. There's, in my books, no excuse to not move your body, because there's always a way. And during COVID, I made a way. Yes, Alicia, go for a walk for sure. And so it's like, you make a way. How can you figure out how to move? And you do it, right? So maybe the gym's not there right now and you're used to working out in the gym, which I get is going to be a transition to get used to. But working out at home or even outside, if it's nice, work out outside, or find other spaces that you can go to that can help you get the movement in, okay? Second piece is, you find it hard to do a little bit at a time. You want to go all or nothing. I want you to reflect in your life when you've tried to do something all or nothing, how that's turned out for you. And I want you to just shift your perspective. Everything is good. Like, I always think better than nothing. That's why I tell my clients, if you only were able to move your body for 10 minutes, better than nothing. Why do you need to go 100%? That comes back to, for me, I believe, this over like perfectionism idea, like I need to be perfect at all of this, and I must make this, or else it's not good enough, or else I failed. So where is that mindset leaking in? I don't know if this is your mindset, but this is a lot of people's mindsets. It might not resonate, but look at your mindset towards, if you don't go to the gym 5 times a week, what do you make that mean? And what do you say about yourself if you don't? Are you like, oh, I didn't get to the gym and now I failed? Like, or is it like, okay, let me move my body for 20 minutes today, because that's my best and that's enough. I'm going to celebrate myself for moving my body. So it's like shifting the mindset from, if I don't do this, I failed, to, when I do this, I have celebrated myself because I'm moving and taking action in the way that I know is going to help me, right? So it's not, you need to do all the things. It's every little bit counts, and shifting your mindset around it. So I hope that supports you. If you have questions, let me know. And those were all the questions. So how are we doing? Is there anything else you want me to cover? It was such a good call. And yeah, we're good.
I want to say thanks so much. I really appreciate it for your time, and thank you, thank you, thank you.
You are so welcome, loves. It was so awesome to get feedback from you and just to chat and like help support you with this. But definitely do the things. Like, don't just be here, oh, that was great, but do the things.
No.
Like Clarice, do that every day. Alicia, like, take the action. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'm gonna send you some stuff. Alicia, I'm sending you my sleep video. Clarice, you already got that. You're good. If you have any questions, you can let me know. But I'm gonna send the iron thing out too. I think, did everyone want the iron thing, or did just a couple of you? I forget. Oh gosh.
I
Yeah.
think it's everyone. Yeah.
Iron. I think I'm just gonna send out to everyone. Everyone can get the iron information, and then yeah, that's it. But thank you all.
Thank
Thank you
you.
again, and go do the things. Go take care of your health. We're all gonna soar this month and moving forward. And yes, please update me when you do it after you see some shifts and feel your strength. And yeah, I'm so excited for us to all take action on this. So thanks again. So valuable. And I'll see you all.
Actually, Pearl,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's okay.
So just now, I'm noticing after doing that on the floor and just finding where my spine is supposed to be, like I'm doing moves I always do at home, kind of like just to move and to have fun, and I love to dance. But like just now, I'm like, oh, I'm grounded.
Yes.
The pushing our
Mhm.
heels inward. Like I know that was a big thing from ballet. I didn't do it for a very long time, but it's like it always stayed with me. And it's like, oh, I found that comfy position. So it opened, it reset, and now I'm grounded and I get to move. I can already feel like I'm moving intentionally and I'm working out additional tension. I'm not adding to it or compensating for it. So
That's
that's like
so
it's
beautiful.
yeah.
I
So
love
thank you
that
for
so
that.
much. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for sharing. And actually, one thing I'm going to share with you all, this just came in my mind, but if you guys could all share your takeaways from this call and like what you found from it and like anything that you want to share, would love to have just a little blurb. Because yeah, like I'm here to support you all, and I think what you all shared was so beautiful. Keep doing the things. I love that like even that's the thing I always try to say. Like you will see shifts instantly if you do the thing. Like you're already seeing shifts. Like even Bianca was like, I already felt better after moving my body for a couple minutes from her period cramps. Like things can happen as soon as you choose them to. So thanks again for being here. Please send me a little blurb over Telegram. And yeah, I appreciate you all. Thank you. Bye.